Hey y'all, this is Audra Hicks, your Tennessee Realtor. Will a pool add value to your home? Stay tuned because I put the real in real estate. So, when you are thinking about adding a pool, several factors go into play on whether it will add value to your home. Those include your location, the type of pool, its condition, and the preferences of potential buyers. Some buyers, when you go to sell your home and you have a pool, you've probably eliminated half the buyers right there because there's so many people who do not want a pool. But then the people who want a pool, it would be more attractive to. So it's just like with any home. There's a certain population that will not be attracted to said home for this one reason. So pools are, if somebody's had a pool and never really liked a pool, and it's an in-ground pool, they probably would not want to come see the home. If it's an above ground pool, they might. They know they can probably take that one out. But, um, for many reasons, a pool may or may not add value to your home. Now, it might be a preference of a lot of buyers, especially in certain states and certain areas of Tennessee, especially if we're talking about Tennessee here. You it might be in a neighborhood that has a lot of pools. So people tend to want to be in that neighborhood because they know it's probably going to have a pool. Now, when I've asked appraisers in the past about pools, some give me this weird face and some are like, well, it depends if it adds value or not. It depends because if it is customary for that area or that neighborhood to have a pool, then it would potentially add value to the home. You may not, like if you put one in today and sold in the next few months or year even, you may not get your value back out of that pool. It just depends on, like I said, the neighborhood and the area that you're in. So, the geographic location in regions with a warm climate, such as Florida or Southern California, pools are more common and can add value to a home. However, in areas with colder and short summers, pools may not be desirable and might not add significant value. We're in Tennessee, so we have maybe early spring. You might have to have a heater in your pool if you open it up that soon. But usually May, June, July, August, maybe September, depends on the weather. You might get 5 months out of your pool here. We used to have a pool years ago at our previous home, and um, um, we loved it at times and then we hated it at times. So there's a love-hate relationship with that. Kind of like with boats, they say too. We had a boat for 14 years. We loved it, but there's also negatives about it too. So I'm trying to go over some of that today. I get asked a lot, well, is my pool gonna add value? And that's a little bit hard to just say across the board that it will or won't. You just don't know. Like I said, it depends on the area and the subdivision you're in, the location, the climate, and all of that. Now, the pool type has an impact on the value too. So, if you did an in-ground pool typically may add more value than the above ground pools. The only thing about above grounds is you can take them out usually much easier than you can fill in an expensive in-ground pool. Additionally, well-designed and professionally installed pools tend to have a more positive effect on home value. It may not necessarily have anything to do with value, but it could be a good selling feature to buyers that really specifically are looking for a home with a pool already there. They may be willing to pay more for that house just because of that pool already being there. If it's a nice pool, they don't have to spend the money on it. They don't have to wait and get the contractors. They don't have to, go through all of that. It's already done for them. The pool condition is crucial. A well maintained pool that is in good working order is more likely. Somebody's calling me. I will have to call you right back. Um, a well-maintained pool that is in good working order is more likely to add value, while a neglected and damaged pool can have negative effect on the home's value. And I'm going to make that point there. If it's that way, I would much rather my seller, if we're going to list a home and it's neglected or needs to be torn, go ahead and tear it down before we list that home. That's something that buyers will never unsee. They already know it's there like that. It's just going to have a negative effect on you selling the home. Um, and that's even in-ground pools. Like they might be neglected and all that. So they need to actually do the work to it to get it back in working order before they list the home. Local market trends. It's essential to consider local real estate market trends. In some areas, having a pool is more expected, while in others, it might not be a priority for buyers. And like I said, appraisers have said if it is customary for pools to be in that said neighborhood or area, then it can hold weight on having a value added for their appraisal. But it's always up to that appraiser. And every appraiser is different too. Um, Buyer preferences. The preferences of potential buyers play a significant role. Some buyers may see a pool as a value addition, while others might view it as a maintenance burden or a safety concern, particularly for families with young children. But then I've had families with young children that love pools or have never had one and want one because they want to teach their child how to swim and do all of that, and they want to make memories and stuff. So some, you just never know. Every buyer's different. Some love them, some hate them for different reasons. So now the cost of ownership of a pool, it's ongoing cost for maintenance, water, chemicals, and potentially higher homeowners insurance premiums. Buyers may consider these factors when evaluating the value of a home with a pool. Like I sold one this last year that had a pool, and it was in a kind of a sought after neighborhood. The people that bought it really wanted that pool. They had young kids. They wanted that pool. They wanted everything to stay with that pool, even the furniture that goes around all the deck and everything. But they really love that pool, and that's one reason why they bought that house. So you have those too. You have buyers that really are looking for that specifically, but then you have buyers that really don't want to have anything to do with that. So, you know, if it is in an area where they're used to it, maybe their HOA does not even have a pool in there. A lot of those type of the tight-knit neighborhoods, a lot of them have pools and stuff. So it may be a good thing to add and have value, at least for yourself while you're there until you move. A lot of people will still take them and use the money to do it so that they can have fun and enjoy that outdoor experience there. So for resale value versus enjoyment. Okay, so here's my list of that. Consider whether you plan to use the pool primarily for personal enjoyment, or if you're installing it primarily for resale value, because there's a difference. If you intend to enjoy the pool yourself, its value may be more about your lifestyle, like I just said, and less about potential resale. So if you want to install a pool, even if you're selling in a year and that is just something you've always wanted, go right ahead and do it. So not saying that it won't add value or it won't add features that people really want or are searching out. I know during COVID, if we had a listing that had a pool or a neighborhood that had a pool, people really wanted to live in those type houses, because especially if they wanted a pool, because they were so backlogged and it was going to take them a year or two to get a pool. So at that time, and different times of seasons or years or whatever the market might be in dictates whether, things sell more or don't, So pools during COVID sold more than they didn't. Now, appraisal and assessment. When you have your home appraised or assessed, the pool's value may be factored into the overall assessment. However, the appraiser will consider the local market and pool condition, like I said earlier. When I talk to my appraisers, some of them are like, it depends. Usually, I mean, I get that weird face from them about when I've asked them. I have liked to ask about like outdoor garages, outdoor swimming pools. What about hot tubs? I mean, you never know. And you get the faces from all the appraisers, and or they don't really want to answer you because it's kind of a blanket statement. And then some will give you the good, the bad, and the ugly about having a pool or, whatever. But most of them tell me, though, that it depends on the condition, the type of pool, and the area or neighborhood that it's in. So, and that all makes sense, really. So it's essential to do your research on the front end to know how much it's going to cost, how long you're going to be at the home. Are you willing to go ahead and put out that money just for your enjoyment? Should you not get all your money back when you sell it? Factor in all that on, for yourself and for your family, because it's going to be something that you're going to either love or hate when you own a pool. If you've never had a pool before, you might not know the expenses that go along with the pool, more electricity. Do you want to have it heated through the winter so you can have winter enjoyment? So many things go into play. Now, in the winter, you might do your hot tub more. But then I've heard a lot of people like their hot tubs in the summer more, and I'm like, I wouldn't want to go out. And we had a hot tub, and we had it for years, but we ended up getting rid of the hot tub because we found we just weren't going out and using it. But our time was to use it more in the winter when it's cold outside. But everybody's different, like I said. So hopefully this has helped you on should you get a pool, should you not, and why? What I say is you do you, and you figure out if you really want that pool for just enjoyment for you and your family. By all means, buy that pool. If you have the money to do that and you're willing to risk not getting your money back if you sold pretty fast either. So, and pools can be fun. Pools can be fun. You just have to have your safety measures and stuff too. Now the county's going to have different counties are going to have different codes for pools and what you need to do. Do you need a fence around it? Is there a gate? Just different things they'll want to inspect and do during the process of getting the pool installed and stuff. So, if you like my videos, please like, subscribe, and share with your family and friends. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.